When did you hear about the murder at Moselle of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh?
The next morning when I was getting ready to go out there.
The next morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you hear?
Alex called me.
And what did he tell you? He didn't call. He called you the next morning.
He called me early the next morning.
And what did he say to you?
He sounded shaky on the phone. You could tell he was. His voice sounded really shaky, and he said, "B, they're gone. They're gone." And my initial thought was, did she go back to Edisto? That thought didn't cross my mind that he meant that they were dead at that time.
You just didn't comprehend
No,
what was
sir,
going on?
I did not. So he told me again, he said, "No, B, they're dead." And at that point, I don't remember because I believe I dropped the phone. My husband got the phone. I don't remember after that.
You literally dropped the phone?
Yes.
And did your husband get on the phone?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember. All I remember is when he said that they were dead. I dropped the phone, and I believe I said, "I'll be right over. I'll be right over."
So there's the housekeeper, Blanca Simpson. Weird how things turn out in life. She starts doing some translating for Murdaugh as a kind of a helper with a case here and there, and the next thing you know, boom, she's working as a housekeeper. Tracy Walters here, Katherine Lizardo. Hey, I like her. She's believable. I can't see any reason to distrust her. It doesn't sound like she feels obligated in any way. She did tear up occasionally, Tracy, when talking about what she learned that morning, the morning of the 8th. But how do you read her?
Oh, I read her the same way that you do. I feel that she's very believable. She's genuine. She's not sort of overly hysterical, and she's very measured, very composed. I think that she doesn't appear that she has any agenda. Sometimes you'll see that with people on the witness stand that they have an agenda, for the plaintiffs or the defendants. But in this case, she doesn't seem that she has an agenda, rather than she's really just reiterating what happened. And I believe that she is an excellent witness for the prosecution.
So now we get to Katherine. What is she saying? What is she saying that helps or hurts either side? On cross, and that's where we are right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me set this up real quick. On cross, where we are now, and we're going to come back from the break once they figure out their problems there, Katherine. There was an objection pending. So
yes.
The cross did a great job of saying, well, did you see any blood on the pants that you washed? They just happened to look like the pants he was wearing in that video pre-murders. So, the defense is making some points here.
They are, in terms of, she even testified that she washed or cleaned the bathroom. So if Alec Murdaugh actually washed up after the murder, all of that evidence is gone because she cleaned it. I think her testimony is very critical, though, in terms of saying that I actually never saw the clothes and shoes, not just the clothes, but the entire outfit that he was wearing in that video, which is very unusual. And she knows all of her clothes, all of their clothes, the family's clothes, because she's very close to them. So that ties up that question, what happened to the clothes? No one knows, but we established it's nowhere in the house.
So we also have, Tracy, this T-shirt she found laying on the ground. There's no suggestion it's the one he was wearing when the cops were there, but apparently maybe it was one that fell off a pile. He's one of those guys, either he has people to do it, but he has a pile of white T-shirts in a closet or in a cabinet, and it seems like maybe in the rush to change clothes, one of the loose T-shirts fell to the ground. What do you make of that?
That very well could be the case, and then that one fell to the ground, or he's just not an orderly person. But to your point, he does have someone that helps him with that. I do think in this case, as Katherine pointed out, sometimes it's about the absence of evidence rather than a lot of evidence, and the fact that we haven't been able that she was not able to see those items, and she's so familiar with the family, that actually could be a critical piece of evidence. Simply the fact that you don't have them. So that's something to think about as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, that's why we're so in tune to this case, because there are so many things that can cut both ways. It really is amazing. And we're going to take a quick break here. And as I've said, what is this, folks? Is this a tarp? Is it a poncho? Is it a rain jacket? If you just see somebody bring this in one night, this is all you see? What is it? All we know for sure is the tarp was never tested, and the rain jacket poncho had GSR on it. So make of that what you will. Taking a break. We'll come back. The court should be back soon.